Hi, I'm Eric with Home Network Central, and I'm going to show you how to set up the Netgear Nighthawk X6 AC3200 tri-band Wi-Fi router. The model number is R8000. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug this in and get everything online, and so we can access the internet. And I'm going to show you what it takes to get online. Once I get it out of the box, I just like to put everything together. So on this one, all you really have to do is just pull these antennas out. There's 6 of them. Looks kind of freaky, doesn't it? It's got 6 antennas to pull out, and it's got this piece of plastic on the top here, and this is going to tell you what your Wi-Fi network is called that's automatically configured on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it online, and I just have to point out first that in order to get this router online, you're going to need to plug into a modem. This router doesn't have internet like built into it. It doesn't come from the airwaves. It's not like LTE or anything like that. So you have to plug the router into a modem. I have this modem already plugged in, and my modem is online, and the modem plugs into the port on the wall, and that is what provides the internet to your home network, is your modem. So your router comes with this yellow Ethernet cable. So what I'm going to do is, again, I have my modem online and I'm paying for my internet service. So you have to pay monthly for them to turn that port on. So to get online, you're going to go to the back of your router and you'll see a bunch of ports back here. There's a bunch of ports that are together. They're all the same, and they all look similar, and they're labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. These are your LAN ports. This is where you plug in all of your wired devices that you want to connect to your router. Then usually there's one that's different. The one that's different, see, it's a different color. It's physically separated by this little separator. It's labeled internet. That's where you plug in your modem. So I'm going to take this cable that came with my router. I'm going to plug one end into the router right there, and the other end I'm going to plug into my modem, because that's where the internet comes from, is my modem. So the same thing, you just plug it in the back there. And now what we're going to do is plug in the power. So it comes with this power cable. I already have the other end plugged in. And what we're going to do is plug that in. And you'll see the lights all turn on. They're all going to flash. And the router is going to boot up. So while that's booting up, let's just kind of make our area look nice there. Let's put the box up there. So we're just basically going to wait for this thing to boot up. All we have plugged in is the power and the Ethernet cable. The Ethernet cable goes to the modem, and that's how you get your internet access. This router does not have internet without the modem. So I want to be clear about that in the beginning. And what I'm hoping to happen is, typically when you set up a router, it's pretty easy. Literally, we should be done. That's all you really have to do. As long as your internet connection is good, your subscription is paid for and it's online and your port's working, so that means your modem's online. As long as you plug your router into your modem and you just turn it on and just plug it in, then you should have Wi-Fi available and you should be able to get online. That's how it should work in a perfect world. But I'm going to show you something you can do if you're having problems. So once the router does boot up, your Wi-Fi network that your router provides, first it's provided on this sticker. It says mine is Netgear 45 and the password is boldshoe787. So that's how I would get to my network. It's all, if you don't have that sticker, it's also on the bottom of the router. It says your Wi-Fi network name is Netgear 45 and your network key, again, boldshoe787. Yours is going to be different, so just trying my stuff won't work for you. You're going to have to look at what yours is. So once this boots up, that Wi-Fi network will be available, and you should be able to log on to it and hopefully, in a perfect world, just be able to get on the internet. So let's grab my laptop. You don't need a laptop to do this. You can use your phone. Again, there's nothing that you really have to set up. It's literally just plug it in, and if you know how to connect to Wi-Fi, you should be able to connect to Wi-Fi and get on the internet. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm just doing it on my laptop because I want to show you the screen, and it's a convenient way for me to do it. You don't need a laptop to do this. You can just do it on your phone. That Wi-Fi name that we're going to look for to connect to this router is, again, on that sticker, or it's on the bottom of the router. Netgear 45 is what we're looking for. So on my laptop, I'm going to go to the Wi-Fi down here. I want to make sure Wi-Fi is turned on, which it is. And now I'm looking for Netgear 45 because mine says Netgear 45. Yours might be a different number. It might, I don't know what numbers they use, but it could be Netgear 37 or, you know, yours might be a different number. But that's how you find out what your network is going to be. And you can do this on your phone, you can do it on your laptop or whatever. This is just how you find the network. So Netgear 45, that's my network. And you'll also see I have two other networks down here. Network 45-5G-1 and Netgear 45-5G-2. All three of those are all my networks that are coming from that router. You might not see some of these networks if your device does not support 5 gigahertz because the Netgear 45, the one that just says Netgear 45, that's the 2.4 gigahertz network. The one that says Netgear 45-5G-1 and the one that's -5G-2, those are 5 gigahertz networks. So if it's possible that your device, if you can't see these other networks on here, it's possible that whatever device you're using to connect doesn't support the 5 gigahertz network. So that would be the reason why you can't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect to one of these networks. They all use the same password. So I'm going to connect to the 5G one because I like the 5G. I'm going to go to connect and it's going to ask me for the security key. Again, your security key is either on that sticker on the top, or if you don't have the sticker, it's on the bottom. So you see the name of the network is Netgear 45. The password for the network is BoldShoe787 for me, but yours will most definitely be different. I just accidentally clicked something and that went away. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to go to my networks. Okay, so there's that screen again. It's asking me for my security key. So I'm going to type in my security key, BoldShoe787. Go to next. And I'm waiting for that to disappear. Next. Oh, there, I had to tap in, it wasn't working. I had to actually physically click it. So now it's going to connect to that network. So we're just waiting for that to connect, and we'll come back when it connects. So it connected. It took about, I don't know, a minute or two or something like that. So I'm connected, but it says no internet secured. But I am connected to the Wi-Fi. So what I'm going to do is open up my Microsoft Edge browser down here. And the thing you're going to type in up here, it tells you what to do on the bottom of the router. So if you look at the bottom here, it says router login, http://www.routerlogin.net. The username is admin and the password is password. So that's how we're going to log in. So I'm going back to my laptop. Again, you don't need a laptop to do this. You can do this all from your phone if you want. So I'm going to http://www.routerlogin.net. It's already typed in there. So I'm going to visit that. Again, make sure you remember we connected to Wi-Fi before we do this. This is not an internet site we're going to. It's actually logging into the router, but you have to be connected to this router for this to work. So once this loads, we're going to come back. So once that page loads, this is the page you're going to see. It's the Netgear service terms and conditions. So we're going to go ahead and click agree. This is going to, it says detecting if there's an existing router on your network, please wait. I'll come back when this is done. Now it says checking the internet connection. So that was pretty quick. And now what it's going to do is have you change the password for the administrative login. This is not your Wi-Fi password. This is just to log into the admin interface, just so you can change your settings. I'm going to just go ahead and make mine password. I don't recommend you use that because that's easy to hack into. And then you select a couple questions just in case you forget your password. It'll let you reset it. You just pick a couple of the questions and answer them. I'm going to go with the standard brother's and sister's name. All right, and you go to next. So it says, congratulations, you are successfully connected to the internet. So those are our Wi-Fi network settings, the 2.4 gigahertz network. That's the network name and the password. Then it has this router has two 5 gigahertz networks. One is Netgear 45-5G-1 and one is Netgear 45-5G-2. And your admin router settings, our admin username is admin, and then the new admin password is what you set it to. I set mine to password. And we can go to next. Attempting to connect to Netgear server. Please wait. So, okay, firmware update assistant. It's new firmware is found. You want to update the firmware. I always suggest you update the firmware if you get this far. It's always nice to have new firmware. So I'm going to go ahead and go to yes. Downloading and updating the language table. Please wait for approximately 1 minute. So I'll come back when this is done. The router is downloading new version now. Please wait. So we'll come back when this changes. Oh, it just changed. The update process takes about 2 minutes. Do not turn off the power or press the reset button during the update. So we're just going to wait for this to do whatever it's doing. That was actually pretty quick. It was less than 1 minute, but now the router is rebooting and it's going to reload this page for us. So the router took a while to reboot. Not like super long, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but the page refreshed before the router was able to reboot. So this page popped up. It said you're not connected, and it's because this refreshed before the router was done rebooting. So it looks like there's a problem, but there's really not. So let's see what happens if I just refresh this page again. Is it going to load it back again, or is it going to make me type in router login? So it doesn't look like it's going to do anything. So you want to go back up here and go back to routerlogin.net. Oh, actually, I'm going to have to reconnect to the Wi-Fi probably. So Netgear 45-5G-1, I'm going to reconnect to that again. So now I can log back into the router. Let's register your product. I'm not going to register right now. So let's see. Is there a way to get out of this? I don't want to. Okay, there's a little X up here. I don't really want to register right now. Let's see. So you can set up the smart parent controls, manage your network with Nighthawk app. If you want to use the app, you can go ahead and install that. I personally never use the app, so I don't really do anything with that. Personal cloud. So let's see, how do we get back to, oh, we're on netgear.com. It didn't load the router. So let's try routerlogin.net because we want to log into the router. Okay, so now it asks us for the username and password. So the username is admin and the password is whatever you set it to when we first logged in. Mine was password. Okay, so it's going to make us reset the password again. So password for me. And then you got to type it again. We recommend your password meets. That's just a recommendation. You don't have to follow that. So you type password twice. What is your older sister's first name? Again, this is in case you forget your password. It'll ask you these questions. I don't believe, okay, you cannot use the default admin password. You must change the admin password. Okay. So we'll not use password. We'll use password 1234. And again, I'll use password 1234. Let's see if that'll work. Okay, so now it's asking me to log in. Admin. Password is password 1234. I'm not going to ask it to remember my password. So close that out. Netgear Armor. Netgear Armor is available for your router. Make your network safer. I'm just going to say no, I don't need this. Enable smart parent controls on your router. I'm not going to do that either. So exit that out. Internet status is good. So let's see if we can get on the internet. I'm connected to the Wi-Fi of this router. www.google.com. So I'm on the internet now. So as you see, it was fairly easy. All we really had to do was plug the router in, plug it into the modem, and we connected to the Wi-Fi network. And we were basically able to set the admin password, and we were able to get online. It was super easy. There's not really a lot to it. Some of you may have a problem if you are upgrading from a previous router. Let's say you had this one, and you had this one online and working, and you're just upgrading to this new router. I want to show you a trick if you're having trouble getting this new router on the internet. I do this in all my other router setup videos, but right now, if you're on the internet, if yours says internet status good, then you can stop watching this video. There's nothing further for you to watch. But I just have a trick. If your router's not getting online, then here's some additional steps one additional trick you can try if your router is still not getting online. If you can get to this screen, then I want you to try this. If you had another router that was previously working, you want to get the MAC address of that router. So for example, this one, the MAC address is 288.0.88, blah, 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 blah. We're going to make a note of that old MAC address on our old router. If you don't have an old router or you don't have the MAC address, then this will not work for you. You need that MAC address. So if you're not online, then you're having an issue that you might have to call your ISP or maybe try restarting your router or something. Call your ISP, tell them you got a new router and you're having problems getting it online. And they should be able to point you in the right direction. But if you have an old router and you have the MAC address, here is something you can try that might get you online. If you can get to this page, you're going to go up to Advanced on the top. And then on the left side, or no, you go to Advanced. And then when this pops up, you see Internet port right here. Click on Internet port. And now you're going to go all the way to the bottom. And there's a section that says Router MAC address. There's three options. Use default address, use computer MAC address, or use this MAC address. So you're going to select use this MAC address. And you're going to go all the way over and there's a box. The stuff that's typed in there is the MAC address of the router that we're currently setting up right now. But we want to use the MAC address of our old router. So I'm going to select all this. You see how it has the colons in there? It says 3C:37:86. We want to type the colons in there when we type in our MAC address of our old router. So I'm going to select that and get rid of it because we don't want to use the default MAC address. We want to use the MAC address from the old router. So this one, you don't see the colons in there, but you want to type the colons in between every 2 characters. So it's 2828, and I'm going to add colon 80 colon. I'm going to do that for the whole thing. 88CF. So 88 colon CF colon 69F8. So 69 colon F8. And then you don't need a colon at the very end. So you type that in there, and then you go all the way to the top and you hit apply. And what that's going to do, I'm not going to do it here because I don't need to do this, but what that's going to do is it's going to kind of trick your ISP into thinking that it's your old router, and it might help you get this router online. Now again, this is not a required step. It's just if you're having problems getting your router online, if you previously had another router that was working. But if your router's online, you don't need to do this MAC address step. This is just a last resort if you can't get yours online. So once you hit that apply button, it's going to restart your router, and then you might be able to get back online after that. So I like to go through the settings. You should be good to go. You should be online and everything should be working. You should be able to log into those Wi-Fi networks with the password that's on the bottom of the router. So it should be, on mine, it's Netgear 45. It's upside down here, but it's Netgear 45. So you can go and connect to those Wi-Fi networks and you should be able to get online. But so your router should be all set up now. But I'm going to show you how you can change your settings if you want to change your Wi-Fi password or change your Wi-Fi name or anything like that. So you can go back to the basic tab, and we're going to go to wireless, and you scroll down and you'll see these are your networks. Wireless network 2.4 gigahertz, and there's your setting. You go over here, Netgear 45, that's the name of your network, or also known as your SSID. And if you want to change the channel, this is where you change the channel of your 2.4 gigahertz network. And this is where you choose the security option. I recommend you just leave it on the default WPA2-PSK. I just recommend you leave it there. And then this is your password for that network. You can go ahead and type whatever you want in there for your password. If you keep scrolling down, you have 2 more networks. You have wireless network 5 gigahertz. And again, you can change the name and the channel, and you can change the password to whatever you want. And then remember you have another 5 gigahertz network, 5 gigahertz 2. Again, you can change the name and change the channel and change all these settings for each. Remember, you have 3 networks. There's the password for the last one. So that's how you change your Wi-Fi settings. So that should be everything you need to basically configure this router and get it working. If that helped you out, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if there's anything else you want to know about this router, and I can try to help you out. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.